Welcome and welcome back everybody to the channel. I hope you're doing well. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at a striker build, and we're into the action I guess already. Now this build thoroughly surprised me, so we're just quickly going to do this territory control point that is under attack already. But with all that being said, before we get into it properly, please be sure to hit like, subscribe, and all the YouTube things. We're on our way to 500 subscribers. Why does this always happen to me? But yeah, we're on our way to 500 subscribers. And then after the 500, we're going to go for the 1,000, and then we'll be monetized. But like I said, this build thoroughly surprised me. Now I am running with one modifier. I'm running with two modifiers. The one won't influence damage that much, and the other one, as you're seeing now, well, won't influence damage if I'm close. But you will see these numbers spike up pretty high at range. Probably not now because of us being close by. But I will showcase those numbers before we go into the build properly. But as you can see, damage goes kind of crazy. And as well as my armor. Now you'll also realize, or probably see, that I have two assault rifles on my back. Main reason is I've been playing around a bit, and I can't decide which one I enjoy more. Don't know what that was. So I haven't quite decided which one I like more. They're both similar damage-ish. But yeah, that was the showcase. This went by. This territory control went by very quickly. Is there something else I can do that might go quickly? I don't like doing those. There's another one. Let's go do another one. We'll see if we can't get some range. Show off some range. But the whole thing with this came about was I started unlocking some of the passive modifiers. And I also made a video a striker build video where I had the backpack and chest piece rolled, and I got a lot of comments saying that the backpack and chest piece isn't worth it, in most open world. And I have to say, I tend to agree. As you can see here, we're popping up to 1.1 million without barely any striker stacks. 1.2. I think we'll talk about the build afterwards, and then I'll show it off in the range in a bit more of a controlled environment. But I wanted to show it off real world as well, because the shooting range is ideal circumstances, and like now I'm very close. It's not ideal, but it works. Now I'm just switching to the Stega just to show off the other damage. Like I said, for the Stega is similar. The Stega feels a bit more stable than Lexington, I think. And I think damage might peak a bit higher. I'm unsure if that's true.
Access key detected.
Here we go. But overall, as you can see, we are peeking into the 1.2 million range with the global modifier. Let's head back to the White House over here so that we're not being bothered. At least not by enemies, should I say. I also zoomed in the camera a bit. I'm thinking about doing something to my background. It's just gonna take a bit of work, but I'm thinking about doing a little light type of thing for a logo. Maybe rework my logo a bit. I'm unsure. But let's get down to the shooting range and let's quickly talk about the build. Now, first and foremost, for those of you who just want a quick summary of it, this is the build. One piece group bow. The liquid engineer is the only named item. Okay, along with the Lexington and the Stega, of course. Crit chance, crit damage rolled. We are looking at 47% crit chance on the Stega, and 40. Okay, the exact same on the Lexington. Not all of this is max rolled, but for those of you who just want a quick summary, want to get in and out, that's the overall principle of that. Now, for those of you who want a bit more of a deep dive, first and foremost, I want to say, obviously, I have level 2000, so if you're new to the game, make sure to check the watch. If you're missing any stats, you gain headshot, crit chance, crit damage, a bunch of stats over here. So if you're losing a bit of stats, this would be the main reason. The other thing I want to point out, I have 2 global modifiers active currently. This one just gives me movement speed, accuracy, or reload range. It doesn't do anything towards damage. This, on the other hand, gives quite a lot of damage to body shots, and this is the reason why at long ranges I'm hitting about 1.2, 1.2 without striker stacks. So this is quite an insane modifier, should I say? But yeah, just keep in mind, if you want to get those high numbers at long ranges, this is going to be necessary. However, the close to medium range build, just overall, yeah, this is it. So let's get into it. First off, we are running the technician skill tree. We're running it for the 1 yellow core that you get for that, as well as the artificer hive. I generally like running the artificer hive. It helps out with the shield. Alternatively, if you want to drop the 1 yellow and you don't care about the artificer hive, you could run the firewall with the firewall shield for the extra damage to people close to you, especially for close range. I think that'll help a lot. But that's skills. That's that. For weapons, I have I have the Stega and the Lexington. Realistically, what I would like to do is choose between one and then start running a shotgun just to help build stacks a bit for strikers. But for the experimentation phase, the Stega I have is rolled for health damage and damage to targets out of cover. The Lexington is rolled for the exact same. Lexington has the killer talent on it. Killer states whenever killing an enemy with a critical hit grants 70% crit hit damage. With this build max rolled, I should reach about 50% crit hit chance, but my killer I've realized is active most of the time. I'll show that up now as well. All the subcore reds can be rolled in any configuration you want. But as of currently, we have, I believe, 3 crit chances, 4 crit chance rolls, and then 2 crit chance mods. The rest are crit damage, and then 4-piece striker. Like I said, Liquid Engineer. Liquid Engineer gives you the Perfect Bloodsucker talent. The Perfect Bloodsucker just adds and refreshes 12% bonus armor for 10 seconds, max stack of 10. So 120% bonus armor. So at max stacks, we're running around with 3 million armor, just chilling. The Grupo chase piece we have has Intimidate. Now Intimidate says adds 1 stack each second up to a max of 9. For 4% weapon damage per stack to enemies within 10 meters. So kind of throwing it around between long range and close range with the with that global modifier. It just helps out a bit for those longer ranges, and then this naturally helps out with the close or with the close range encounters. Overall, that's pretty much all there is to the generalized build. For now, I'd say, okay, first off, before I switch off of it, I just wanted to show with the Lexington, you'll see right next to the weapon, just under the scope, that is where the perfect, or the killer talent's gonna pop up. And it's active, it's refreshed, reload, still active, reload. There, it didn't proc. That one it procced again. So, and that's at 47%. Now, the reason I'm so so low is mainly this chest piece that I needed to craft. It has 3.3% crit chance that it's going to be in an additional 2.7 that'll be optimized there. And that should push us up to, yeah, that'll push us up to just above 50. And I'm happy with being at 50. Now, finally, what I wanted to show off, let's switch off of you, and I'm just going to equip. Do I have a, I do have a lefty, there we go. I don't actually have a rock and roll, or it's on a different character. For close range, however, for close range, I believe my DPS was around 5-ish million. Close to, or yeah, 5-ish million at max stacks. So we'll striker stacks, and then we will kill something to get our bonus armor up. And pause, reset. So close range body shots. We peaked into 8, but our average is around 7. If you're hitting headshots constantly, that's it. Oh wait, our armor buff disappeared. I don't really need to kill 2 characters to get the armor buff, but that's fine. So headshots, we're peaking well into 12 million for close range. Now that's 10 meters for instance. That is the range of Intimidate. So your damage buff is pretty much anywhere from there to closer. So if you're taking out a shield and walking up to people, that's good. That's also why I'm saying the firewall shield will work quite well, because its range is, I believe, close to it. I'm not quite sure how close it is to that, but so that one was without the global modifier, because the global modifier actually only works on long range. This will be with the global modifier. Just quickly build stacks, and then so global modifier is not proccing. Why aren't you proccing? Oh, you were just inside range. Of course you were. So with global modifier, we're hovering at around 13 million. So the main reason I like this build so much is, even without Intimidate, you're rocking around 10. The reason I like this build so much is you're at about 8 million at close range. Make it 7 as an average, and here you're rocking around 10. Overall, I really love the fact that I can shoot that far, or even realistically further with the Stega and the Lexington. Both of them are relatively accurate to a point. But as long as you build stacks, even like sniper distances are not a problem. I mean, depending on accuracy, you're still chilling at about 8. 11, 8. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say about this build. Other variants that could work nicely is if instead of Ballstone, now I like using the Ballstone Armory, but you could go for the Palisade Steelwork for 10% armor on kill with Bloodsucker. But I don't see that being necessary. Most of my armor is untouched because you're mostly initiating a fight, and by the time you start taking damage, you usually have 2 to 3 enemies killed, so you already have a decent amount of bonus armor stacked up. And other nice thing about this is it just keeps adding stacks. So as you're losing armor and you kill something, a new stack is added and then refreshed. So you'll always have bonus armor as long as you're killing something quickly enough. Like I said, the only other thing, you could run Gunner as well if you want that little bit of an increase in fire rate. But specialization is going to be up to preference. I might choose to run this firewall shield for a bit. just to see how it works out. Because generally, Firewall Shield... Okay, Firewall Shield also has its own set of things. So 8% shield health is nice, and then the active regeneration will help out a bit as well. But yeah, that's an 11% damage increase per enemy in front of you. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but I do think it'll come out to being a decent amount. And since 10 meters is the range, if you have this shield in and you are in range, you know Intimidate will proc. Because I think that's just out of range. Where would that be at? It looks like kind of in the middle of those two boxes, if I had to guess. So, why did you refresh? So yeah, it's slightly out of range, so as long as you're in this range, Intimidate will be proccing. But that's me ranting. I haven't looked at other modifiers, but generally I'm going to try and do it without modifiers because I'm not quite sure how long these modifiers will stick around and if they'll change. And if they do change, if these will still be here or if they're adding new ones. I haven't done research into that. I generally don't like doing research. I just kind of go with what is happening, which is, I guess, not a good thing for a YouTuber. But whatever. If you made it here, if you do enjoy the videos, thanks for watching. Again, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.